So it is Monday now at about 6:30. I don't know if I've even checked in today. I don't think I checked in this morning. No, I know I didn't because I ended up sleeping in. I haven't really done much today. So I finished all the missing pieces. I think I said that yesterday. I got another like 30% of the way into Terror at the Gates. Today I've been listening to the audiobook on my way to and from work, and I listened to it a little bit at work, so I'm a good way of the way through that. I will probably end up finishing that tomorrow. I think tonight I need to sit and do my revising for the day. I'm gonna try to revise 1 or 2 chapters for the day. So yesterday I realized that back in November when I was drafting Twisted Loyalties during the Rough Draft Challenge, I got to the towards the end and I was just kind of over it, and I had been drafting Twisted Loyalties for a while and was ready to just kind of be done with that draft. And so I kind of sped through those last several chapters and had a lot of placeholders and brackets, and I knew that the words I was writing weren't great words, and that I was probably gonna have to end up revising them. And at the time I figured that would be a future me problem. Now it's future me. And now it is time for that to happen. So I ended up yesterday when I was revising, I ended up marking off whole paragraphs and pages of words that need to be rewritten and things that don't make sense. And I think the timeline might be off. I kind of jump forward in things that happen and it doesn't really make sense, and then the way the characters start talking doesn't sound like them at all. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden the characters completely changed and they do not sound like themselves at all. So I need to go back and fix all of that. I need to kind of rearrange and I think move some stuff around, and I think I'm gonna have to end up adding some stuff. I knew I was gonna have to add stuff because I knew I had some scenes that were still in brackets that I hadn't written, for stuff that I need to figure out still, some stuff that I need to research still, but I didn't realize just how much that was. So I think I'm going to end up adding quite a few words and quite a few scenes and maybe even a couple of chapters. Also something I need to work on is chapter breaks, because I don't like the way things are flowing, and I think I can tell when there should be the chapter should be ending and a new one should be starting, and I need to go in and fix that as well. So I'm making notes of everything, using my tabs to keep track of everything. Somebody in the Discord sent me a new YouTube channel to check out of somebody who has tips and tricks for editing novels for the first time, and it comes with a Notion template, which I think I will really like. So I think tonight I'm gonna go downstairs, do my little bit of editing or rereading, maybe do a little bit of knitting. And then I had started editing my Notion dashboard last week, but I never got to finish it. So I think I'm going to keep doing that as well. So yeah, I'm going to finish out the night. We'll see how much I can get through, how many chapters I get through tonight. And then I will check back in with you guys tomorrow.
My sleep schedule was catching up to me. My eyes were puffing a little bit. I also used some drops to lessen the redness as my long leg was high. When I went to the couch to dream about everything. To 300 lawnmowers, Abby's dad never cut the grass. When Abby entered Gretchen's house, it was like opening the pressurized airlock of a gleaming spaceship and walking into a sterile environment. When she entered her own house, it was like forcing open the waterlogged door of a hillbilly shack and walking into a moldy cave. Boxes were
Okay, yes, it is Wednesday the 9th now. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to film this little clip because I'm in the car with no AC on. It is very hot. I think the last update I did, I talked about finishing um, All the Missing Pieces, and I think I was working on finishing Blood in the Water the last time I updated. I have now finished Blood in the Water. I finished it yesterday or the day before. It might have been on Monday. It was good. I ended up giving it 4 stars. It was a little predictable, which is why I took down a star. It could have been a 5-star if I hadn't kind of predicted what was going to happen. I went into it thinking it kind of had like Get Out kind of vibes, and I thought that it was going to be something similar to that at the beginning, but then as the story like evolved and you got to know the characters more and you got a feel for the plot of the story, then I could tell that it wasn't necessarily going to be that exactly, and eventually I was able to kind of predict what was going to happen. So that, like I said, did cause me to bring it down a star. But I actually really liked it. The writing was really good. Most of the story takes place on Martha's Vineyard, and I feel like you got a really good feeling for what it would be like on Martha's Vineyard. I felt like you were there. I love stories that are set in like small communities like that, so you got the small town vibes. Also, it was also good like sibling dynamics and friendship and like kind of sort of found family vibes. Like you can tell like if the story went on, or so the story's about teenagers. As they got older, you would have definitely had those like found family vibes if they had more time together. But you definitely got like friendship vibes, or like dynamics, and like I said, sibling dynamics, and so I really enjoyed it. And now I am listening to my best friend's Exorcism, which I feel like a few years ago when this book came out, everybody was like all about it. I think it's good. I think I always go into Grady Hendrix's books with really high expectations, and then they end up just being kind of mid. I haven't read a Grady Hendrix book that I was fully blown away by. The last one I think I read was How to Sell a Haunted House. I think that's what it's called. I did not like that book at all. But I think that was more me than like the writing itself. And then the first book I read was, I think it's that's like a really long title. It's like Southern Book Club's Guide to Killing Vampires or something like that. That book I liked, but more because it was so wild and so much of it was so like preposterous that it was like a crazy time, and that was like the enjoyment of it, like the entertainment and just wildness of it. I think for that one it was more like the entertainment of it, the wildness of it, than like the actual writing, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I don't think every book has to be like spectacularly written. But like I said, I think I always go into Grady Hendrix books with higher expectations than I should. So far, my best friend's Exorcism is good. I like the time period. I like it's set kind of in like the 70s or 80s, I think, and I'm liking that aspect of it. But everybody in the book, they're all kind of terrible, like people and terrible friends. The parents all suck, and I think that's a product of that time, when, especially in a small community, a very like religious based community, I think that's very common for girls to just be kind of treated like crap, and parents caring more about their reputations and their daughters' virginity than they do about protecting their daughters. And so I think it's all of that that's kind of hindering my enjoyment of it a little bit, but I think that's intentional. Obviously that should make you uncomfortable, but it's not like blowing me away either. So I think I'm like 50 or 60% of the way through that, and then I'm not like 90% of the way through Terror at the Gates. So I am on my way to our other location on the other side of town for work, for a meeting. So I think I'm going to throw on one of those audiobooks, try to get through a good chunk of those, and make some more headway for day 4, or no, I think it's like day 5 now, of Summerween.
Quentin Tarantino's script for Natural Born Killers, which was directed by Oliver Stone, and of course, the titular song from Bruce Springsteen's album, Nebraska. Today I'm gonna
Good morning, guys. Welcome back. It is Saturday now. I don't even know when the last time I updated this vlog was. Tuesday or Wednesday, I think. This week was super busy. I had my open enrollment meetings. I had to go to a different town, like I think I did talk about. I think I showed a few clips, like driving into town and stuff. The Summerween is officially over. I ended up reading 5 out of the 6 books that I wanted to, which is awesome. That seems to be the pattern for me this year, is either I read nothing or I read 5 books in a week. So that's pretty on brand for me this year. I feel terrible because I was supposed to do a live this morning with Hannah Grace and Charlie Ray, and I completely slept through my alarms. It was at 5 a.m., which 5 a.m. on a Saturday is totally different than 5 a.m. during the week. I'm realizing I set 3 different alarms on my phone, spaced like 10 minutes apart, 5-10 minutes apart, I think, so that I would wake up, slept through all of them. I must have rolled over in my sleep and just shut it off and not even realized it, because I just woke up a little while ago. So I think the live is done now, so I will reach out to Hannah and totally apologize to her. We're supposed to do lives again next Saturday at 5 a.m. I don't know if I want to attempt to even try it, or if I want to try to do one during the week. During the week is much easier to get up that early. I know I have to be up anyways, and Dobby usually is pretty set on a routine and wakes me up pretty early during the week. So yeah, I feel terrible about that, but unfortunately it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna sit for a little while while Nick is doing his thing this morning, and do some editing. I have not been able to edit, I don't even know what day it was the last day I edited, maybe Monday or Tuesday. So I'm gonna sit, do a little bit of editing, get through a few pages. I'm realizing that the last quarter of the book, I think I mentioned this earlier, but I can tell that I was done and ready to be done, because there are so many placeholders at the end of the book that I still need to go in and write. I apparently decided to not really do chapter breaks towards the end of the book. I just kept writing, I guess, and didn't really worry about where chapters were starting or ending. And I can just tell that the words are not as good and everything is not as fleshed out as it was in the beginning. So I think this, especially the second part of the book, is definitely going to need a ton of rewrites and a lot more words added. I'm realizing that I really rushed through things and didn't flesh things out nearly as much as they could have been. So I don't know. I've been trying to think about how I want to do this. If I want to finish editing this physical copy and go in and enter all of the smaller things. I'm finding a lot of spelling errors and grammatical things, so I don't know if I want to go in and just make those changes, and then if I want to go in and do the actual full rewrites and adding of all the new words and stuff, or if I want to jump into something new. We'll see. There was a while there where I was kind of jumping around between projects, and I did a few videos where I was doing the spinning wheel chooses which project I work on, or working on a different project each day, whatever, kind of randomizing things. I kind of want to go back to that, at least for a little while. I don't know for sure if I will. I definitely get through the rest of this reread of this physical copy first. I'm on page 192 right now, and there are 235 pages, so don't have too much to go. About maybe 40 pages or something left. So maybe I can finish that today or tomorrow, and then start fresh. Maybe I'll keep editing through the rest of July, and then in August I can kind of randomize things and work on some different things. I had an idea for a new project a couple of days ago, and I had to force myself to just write it down and let it be. I am realizing how many projects I have started and how many projects I'm like in the middle of, and how many are close to like the first draft being done that I kind of would like to go back to, so that I know that I have multiple first drafts done. I don't know, we'll see what I end up deciding, but yeah, that is basically the update for now. I don't know that we have much going on this weekend. I don't think we really have anything going on today other than like church. Tomorrow we might try to go see the new Superman movie. Yeah, I think that's about it. So I'm gonna get to editing. I will check back in with you guys later. Good morning, guys. Today is Sunday now. It is the 13th of July. I am sitting in my car, as you can see. I am going to get my nails done this morning. And then Nick and I are going to go see the new Superman this afternoon, which I'm super excited about. And then later tonight, I'm just going to do my typical reset, meal prep for the week, clothes ready for the week, clean up the kitchen, all that kind of stuff, re-prep my planner for the week, all those things. Okay, guys, I am out of my nail appointment now. Got my eyebrows done, looking much better. Nails done. I did something a little bit different. I've never done anything like this with the like partial solid, partial French. Not sure how I feel about it. Might take me a little bit to get used to it, but it's definitely fun, like summer color. So yeah, I am done. I'm gonna head back home now. Pick Nick up. Well, the movie starts about an hour, I think. So we have a little bit of time. So I'm gonna go home, pick Nick up, and then we're gonna go over to the movie and have all of the snacks and do all the things, and then tonight will be reset and prepped for a new week. Okay guys, this is not the best lighting in the world because I have the overhead light on, but that's what we're working with. It is later on at night now. It is about 8:55. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this vlog here. It has been a pretty productive week. I was able to finish my read through of Twisted Loyalties and make my notes on all of the different edits and changes that I need to make and corrections and all the things. I read through the entire like physical binder that I had printed out. I also read 4 out of the 6 books that I had for Summerween. I did not finish Terror at the Gates, but I am like 90% of the way through. I think I have like half an hour left on the audiobook. So basically that one's done too, which was awesome. I haven't read that many books in a week, especially a week, but let alone a month, in quite a while. So that was awesome. I have made a more of a conscientious effort to try to eat healthier. I bought a bunch of like healthy stuff through our grocery shopping this week so that I could meal plan, which I did do. I don't remember if I took a clip or not, but I did do a bunch of meal prep and like planning today so that I could have food for throughout the week for breakfast and lunches. I reset my planner for the week. I didn't even realize that Q2 ended and Q3 has officially begun. I don't know why I was thinking that Q3 didn't start until August, but Q3 started at the beginning of July. So I went through and I updated my planner. I have a section at the beginning of my planner that is a like year plan section, and I have all the quarters listed out and what my goals are for each quarter. So we can do So I thought I would do just a quick little wrap up of the quarter. So for Q2, my goals were, I had the rough draft challenge there. It seems like we're doing one a quarter. So there was one last quarter as well, which would have been in April. So I did do that, and that's when I finished not Twisted Loyalties, the Hollow Crown. My goal is to finish the first step of editing Twisted Loyalties. I did do that. I finished my read through, which for me was step 1. Finish Sleeping Beauty, which I did not have a title for, or the Hollow Crown when I wrote this list out, so I did do that as well. I finished draft 1. This is kind of a funny one, but I had on here that I wanted to go to the dentist at some point during the quarter. I hate going to the dentist. I avoid it at all costs, but I know that I need to, so I had it on here so that I would officially finally do it. And it actually took my husband just making the appointment for me, so that I don't have a choice, because otherwise I would never do it. So I am doing that. I haven't done it yet, but my appointment is scheduled for the 31st. So I did do that, which I guess technically I didn't do that in quarter 2 because it's now quarter 3, but I'm doing it, so I checked it off. I wanted to lose some more weight, being on Ozempic. When I started that last year, I had lost almost 20 pounds, so I wanted to lose a little bit more, get closer to my weight loss goal. That did not happen. Wanted to get better sleep. There were days when that happened, but it wasn't like a consistent thing, so I didn't check that off. One of my goals was to get to 300 subscribers here on YouTube. That has not happened, but I am very close, or not very close, but getting closer. I think the last time I looked, I was at 269, 270, I think, which is awesome. I started out, was it last year? No, I think I started out, I don't remember exactly what it was, but when I made the switch to AuthorTube in October of last year for Preptober, I had 45 subscribers, and my views were getting like 1 to 2, or my videos were getting like 1 to 2 views, no engagement, no comments, nothing. And now we're up to, like I said, almost getting closer to 300 subscribers, which is amazing. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you, for anybody who watches my videos. I'm really very thankful. But I'm not at 300 yet, so I didn't check that one off. I wanted to continue learning. One of my overall goals for the year was to read more craft books and watch more videos, listen to podcasts. I really wanted to study and research more about the craft of writing. I started off the year really well, doing that pretty regularly, and I have definitely fallen off like the wagon with that, so I need to get back on that and pick that back up, because that is something that I really was enjoying doing. I wanted to start walking more. I did not do this. Unfortunately, I live in the desert and it is ridiculously hot. It was 114 today, so it is very hard for me to do that. I would love to get a walking pad. I don't know where I would put it. We don't really have space for one. Maybe I could put one in here. I don't know. Maybe I can look into getting one at some point, but I really do want to start trying to walk more, so I may have to start trying to do it like very early in the morning, or so I may have to start doing it either very early in the morning or later in the evening. But yeah, that is something that I wanted to do and I did not, so I did not check that one off at all. So yeah, those were my goals for quarter 2. And now for quarter 3, a lot of them are kind of the same, or at least the same like areas of life that have kind of transitioned over. So again, doing the Rough Draft Challenge. This coming up week will be the 3rd week of the Rough Draft Challenge. So finishing that out, I'm going to be continuing on. Well, actually, that's the next goal, is moving on to step 2 of editing Twisted Loyalties. And for me, that is going to be taking all those notes I took in the binder and all the tabs that I had and all the notes that I wrote out, and putting them into a like editing tracker that I have on Notion. Who was it? Somebody in the Discord recommended this. Was it Sorsha? I think it might have been Sorsha who recommended a YouTube video that had the link to a Notion dashboard for editing, and it has been super helpful. I'm very excited. I started sort of plugging in some of my details, but I need to go in and add all of those notes now, which I'm very excited to do. So basically, like I said, moving on to now step 2 of editing Twisted Loyalties. I also want to continue writing. Part of that editing, one of the next steps is going to be to start rewriting, or I think the next step might be doing the research that I need to do for the book. The main character is a detective, and so there are a lot of like legal and like cop things that I don't really know about that I need to do research on and go in and edit. There are a lot of scenes that I need to go in and add. There are also a lot of things that are in like brackets that I knew I was going to have to come back to. So those are all things that I need to go in and draft and add. So I'm going to do that as well as revising a good chunk of the last portion of the book. I also want to get back into my other projects that I have currently just sitting in my dabble. This will probably be later on in the quarter. This will probably be into August and September. This may not necessarily be a July thing, but I want to get back into the rest of those stories that I have as well. This is another kind of funny one, but so when I was a kid, I had super like thin and stick straight hair, very thin, stick straight, and when I hit puberty, everything kind of changed, and I started to get curls like right in my temples, and then they kind of extended out. And when I was younger, my hair was fairly curly, and now as I've gotten older, it has kind of straightened out a little bit more when it's wet, and like if I let it dry naturally, it is kind of curly, somewhat wavy, but very frizzy. And so one of my goals is to research how to embrace my hair type. I know that a lot of people do like the curly girl method, and there's so many different ways to take care of and embrace like curly hair, but my hair's kind of in between. It's not fully curly and it's not straight. It's definitely kind of very frizzy and wild and big, and like I said, kind of in between curly and wavy. Some of it's curly, some of it's not. I definitely don't have like defined curls. So just looking into ways to embrace that and kind of work with my natural hair. And then the next one is going to be to get back into podcasts. So I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts, but I used to listen to a lot of, I hate the term self-help because I feel like people kind of look down on that, but like self-improvement, like self-improvement podcasts. I used to listen to a lot of like podcasts about like time management and just different things like that, and I would love to get back into those. One of those specifically that I can think of is called Happier. I will link the two posts down below. They are actually sisters. They're both authors. One specifically is like a motivational speaker author, and the other one is actually a writer in Hollywood. And they have this podcast together, and I love it. I used to listen to it all the time. So I'd like to get back into that. And again, as part of my learning, I want to get back into listening to podcasts about writing. Another thing that I've been doing is kind of, I wrote down deconstructing, but I think that's kind of a loaded term and has like a specific meaning. So I don't know if that's really the right term for it, but I've been kind of in this place in my faith where I've been, I don't know, kind of stuck in the middle ground. I don't really know how to describe it. I feel myself kind of stepping away, not necessarily from my faith personally, but not really from the church, because I love my church. I don't know, there's just a lot going on in the world, in the country, based on religion and the things that are happening and what people are doing supposedly in the name of religion and or in the name of their faith or of their God, and that has made it really hard to consider myself a Christian, to call myself a Christian. I've just been dealing with a lot of that and grappling with a lot of that. I know there are a lot of other people who feel the same way. I follow a lot of people on TikTok who feel the same way. There was kind of a brief discussion in one of the Discord servers that I'm in that kind of touched on the subject a little bit. So I know I'm not the only person feeling this way. And so I just want to lead into that a little bit, maybe do a little more research, just do maybe some journaling and some like soul searching and processing, and just kind of figure out exactly what this looks like for me and how I move forward. Again, I want to get back into walking. I want to focus more on the 75 soft, obviously. As part of the whole faith and religion thing, I started a separate TikTok where I am kind of talking about my view on things and the way I live out my faith. And so I want to continue doing that. And then I want to, again, pick up back up on the learning and learning about writing craft and all that. So yeah, those are the things that are on my list for quarter 3. Some of these will be done in July. Some of these will extend it throughout the whole quarter. So yeah, I think that is basically where we're going to leave off this vlog. This coming week is not going to be as busy as the last week. I do still have one open enrollment meeting, but it is at my location, my office where I usually work, so I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to travel anywhere for it. And I don't think I have too busy a week. I don't have very many meetings or anything. So my focus is going to be to start working on that tracker. Like I said, I do want to keep doing some reading now that I've gotten back into reading. Again, I want to focus on my sleep. I didn't put that on my quarter 3 list, but that is something that I really want to focus on, is my sleep. So I think I'm going to start try to make it a habit to get in the shower early, make myself, there's this, I forget the name of the brand, but there's this like sleepy time tea that's like chamomile and vanilla and lavender, I think, that I used to drink that was working really well. So I want to start drinking that again. I'm going to drink that while I read to like wind down. So I think I'm going to do that. And I need to edit this vlog at some point because I haven't even started editing this vlog, and it's supposed to go tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to basically leave this off here. Next week, I think we're going to focus more on 75 soft challenge and week 3 of the rough draft challenge and get some more editing done. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys so much. Let me know down in the comments what you're working on. If you were participating in the rough draft challenge, let me know. Thank you so much for being here. Happy writing, and I will see you guys in the next one.